Welcome back to On the Beat, everyone. I'm your host, Rachel Hurt, and today in the studio we have local attorney Chuck Easley from the Easley Law firm joining us to discuss criminal law and the ins and outs of it. Chuck, thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. It's always wonderful to have you come in and talk to us about how we can better educate ourselves about law and the things that the normal individual needs to know and how to stay out of trouble, right?
That's correct.
So today we're going to dive into criminal law. So I was hoping that you could tell me what your background is with criminal law cases.
I've been a lawyer for 41 years. I started out as an assistant district attorney for about a little over 3.5 years. I tried 100 jury trials in that period of time. I won over 90% of them.
Oh, it's a good closing rate.
I've been on the Supreme Court. I served a term on there for 8 years. I'm also a graduate of the National District Attorneys College in Houston, Texas. And I've done criminal defense work ever since I got out of the district attorney's office. And I've tried hundreds of jury trials, winning about 90% of them.
Wonderful. Well, can you explain to me what the difference is between a felony crime and a misdemeanor crime?
A misdemeanor is a crime that you can only get a year in jail, county jail, or less. A felony, if you can be charged with a crime that you get a year or more. You can get 40 years on felonies.
What are the legal rights that somebody has when they're arrested?
Well, when they're arrested, they're supposed to be read their rights. But sometimes the police do that and sometimes they don't. But you have a right to know why you're arrested.
Sure,
They usually serve you with an arrest warrant or an indictment, either one.
Okay.
And then at that time, you have a right to ask for a lawyer or hire a lawyer.
Should you do that immediately?
Immediately. And I'm talking for a defense attorney, you should never talk to the police.
Just zip it up.
They're too skilled. They're going to twist everything you say around.
I gotcha. Well, can someone that's charged with a crime get out of jail on bond?
Yes. You normally are allowed out on bond. You have to go before a city judge or a justice court judge, and they'll set the bond. It's hard to do sometimes over the weekend. There are incidents where the sheriff can set the bond if a judge is not available, but you're entitled out, except the capital murder, usually you can't make bond on that. I
see. And would the levels or the amount of the bond vary based on the charge?
Yes.
Is it a pretty consistent rate across the board based on the crime that the person's been charged with, or does it fluctuate by county?
Not by county, but it changes based on the incident in question, what facts are known to the court.
I gotcha. Okay, interesting. Well, tell me about preliminary hearings.
Well, preliminary hearing is, before you go to circuit court, you can request a preliminary hearing. And you request one either in justice court or city court, which is a lower court.
Okay.
And it's a simple hearing. The judge hears basically a one-sided evidence of the state. And all they have to show is a crime was committed and there's a likelihood, not that you committed it, but there's a likelihood you might have committed. That's enough probable cause to bind you over to the circuit court.
Why would you want a preliminary hearing?
I always want a preliminary hearing because you learn stuff. You learn as a lawyer, I want to hear what the state's got, or what the sheriff's office or city police or whatever, what kind of evidence they got. And I can find that out in the preliminary hearing, but most lawyers don't even bother to ask for one.
Interesting, interesting. So you're the guy to call if we get ourselves in trouble, right?
If you got the cash.
Well, that's all we have for today. If y'all want more information about the Easley Law Firm, everything's up on the screen for you. I'm sure Chuck would be happy to talk to you about your case and how he can help you get out of jail for free. Just kidding. We'll be back next time on the Beat. Thanks.